welcome back to another episode of Matchday Minds, hosted by Connor and Kieran. We're back, and before we get into today's episode, please can you make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you do not miss on any future YouTube uploads. And if you're on Spotify, 5 stars. Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, rating 5 stars as well. I'm not sure how they work. But yeah, Kieran, we're back. It's the new year. Football's flowing. How are you?
Yeah, doing all right. Loads of games last couple of weeks, which has been lovely, of course. And yeah, Arsenal still top of the table, so that's all that matters to me. FA Cup also starting this weekend, so got some very, very good games to look forward to. And yeah, what about yourself?
Not bad, not bad. Ruben sacked. Like I said he would. I did say previous episodes he
Hmm.
won't last. And yeah, the prophecy. It's happened.
You
But
you
on
did
the
call
FA
that?
on the FA Cup, Portsmouth, isn't it? Arsenal have got
Yeah, we've
Portsmouth.
got Portsmouth. Yeah.
Nice.
At Fran Park.
It is a Portsmouth ground, yeah. Did you manage
Yeah,
to, did you I saw you looked at getting tickets for that.
I did. Yeah, but it's so hard to get tickets. And I mean, if I did, I could have gotten the home end, but I'm not going. I'm not going there with the Pompey fans. I'll probably get stabbed. They'll probably find out I'm from, Southampton, and they'll go, "Oi!"
Oh yeah. I think because I know some people who are season ticket holders at Fratton Park, and I think they were still being charged like 40 quid for a game like that, which I
Yeah,
think is
it's
bonkers.
it's crazy expensive.
Yeah,
But I suppose with season tickets, you're not guaranteed FA Cup, are you? So
true. But ticket
you might get
prices
first dibs
are,
at cup game, but you're not guaranteed it, which is criminal.
yeah. I think that's why he
It's
got
not included.
quoted, and I think he said no because.
Mm.
But then again, like, how often do you see your team play like a Premier League club like that?
Every day.
So you support Portsmouth.
No, but I see
But
my
yeah,
team play Premier League opposition all the time.
United have got Brighton, blimmin' hell.
Yeah, Premier League fix up in the first round. I think that's 3 years on the bounce, isn't it, for Man United?
I don't actually remember.
Because you played us last year in the FA Cup on the first proper round.
Yeah, it was the season before.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was. Was it not? No, it wasn't Man City, was it? Because you played them in the final.
I'm gonna fact check this and get back. What year was it? 2022.
No, 23, 24.
The season before last.
Hmm. Let's have a look.
Yeah. Forest, I'm pretty sure. No, we had Wigan, Newport, and then it was Forest.
Yeah, because that would have been the year that you would have played against Eastleigh if they made it through.
It would have been. So
Mm.
yeah, it wasn't the first round. It was Wigan first, then Newport County, which was actually quite funny because United would have played our local side Eastleigh if Eastleigh beat Newport, which was funny because I was actually on the radio for that as well. I remember the
Yeah, yeah.
Radio Solent called me up for my expertise on that. But Forest was a Premier League side we got in the February game once we went through, and eventually winning the whole competition. So
Mm. Won't happen again.
fraudulently went through versus Coventry as well. Which, funny enough, your absolute flop of a striker played for.
Yeah, and I think he played there at the time, didn't he? Or was he at Sporting at the time?
He might have been at Sporting that summer. I don't remember the lineup. Yeah, I don't think he was there. He wasn't in the lineup. But oh my goodness, we almost went out on that when they had the offside goal, which was definitely not offside. And then we scored. Um, yeah, so that would have put them up 4-3, and then I got disallowed, and then we went to penalties. Hilarious. What a season! Someone was looking down on us that day. But yeah, the main reason I wanted to call you in was I need to go over the United drama. Like, I voiced my opinion a lot on Ruben. Um,
Mm.
I also said that I wasn't really gonna like United this season, but it's hard to stay away when it's your club. But do you remember when I said was it last podcast or something when I went on the system and I said like there's just no available profile that Ruben can get in to benefit this system. I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember me saying that, but funny thing is he also admitted that himself, like in the press conference, and I'm just like, well, I was right. When am I not wrong? Ever. The system was flawed from day one.
Yeah. All right. Calm the ego down a little bit, but
Can't.
yeah, no, you were right. When it comes to Man United, you tend to be quite right.
Yeah.
Your judgment on your own club, I will say, is almost pretty spot on. At this point, shouldn't you be managing Man United?
I have thousands of hours in Football Manager. I reckon so.
Will still 2.0.
If he can manage without his badges, then surely I can.
Exactly. Well, like, come on.
Yeah.
You should just send your CV into
Took Eastleigh to the Champions League. What more do you need?
Took Eastleigh to the Champions League.
What more do you need?
Exactly. Maybe you need to go a bit lower tier and bring them up.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Eastleigh. Aside from Premier League, because we're Prem sexuals, Eastleigh are actually doing pretty decent. They have just loaned out their captain though.
Yeah, it looks a bit weird, doesn't it? I mean, he
Yeah.
was pretty
I,
legendary.
I think he's been kind of out of favour recently, but they are unbeaten in 5, which is nice to see. Don't know if they will get playoff push. They say that every year, but
I hope so. I hope so. Like it's about time that they're just that sort of mid-table National League team, aren't they? Realistically,
yeah. I really thought
be
last
nice.
year was the year.
Yeah,
but they just didn't do
but
it.
it would be so nice. It would be so nice to see them in league football.
Yeah, just being on FIFA as well. That's an established football team if you're on FIFA.
Yeah, being able to do my classic career mode run with Eastleigh instead of creating them as a fake club, using them as a real club.
Yeah, but on United, so Darren Fletcher took charge over Ruben Amorim's dismissal. There's been loads and loads of talks about he was only going to be in charge for Burnley, and then the club are going to look for an interim until the end of the season, and then look for their full-time coach. Now, they were somehow impressed by the 2-2 draw against Burnley. If you're the hierarchy and you think, oh yeah, 2-2 draw to 18th place Burnley, cool, yeah, I guess you would job. But no, I mean, the only benefits of that game.
This is where we set our standards.
Yeah. The only benefits of that game was we took like 30 shots, or give or take. So they're like, oh yeah, that's going to work. But defensively,
I think the thing that got them excited was Sesko scoring.
Twice. I think he had like 13 shots or like 17 shots that game or something in that one game, and Højlund got 13 last season or something like that. Some crazy stat I saw. It's absolutely mental. But yeah, Sesko looked very good. Bruno back, as I said in the TikTok I posted. Bruno will benefit Sesko playing in that like 10 role. He doesn't suit the 6 in that 3-back formation, and it was just shoehorning players in positions it doesn't work. But yeah, I have a feeling Darren Fletcher will probably remain the interim, probably till the end of the season if he gets help with the under-21s, coaches, etc. But Ole is heavily linked with being an interim.
With the job, yeah.
As an outsider, do you think that's kind of like the best way to go?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the likes of so you've seen the likes of Luis Enrique at PSG turn around and say that he's not going to be signing a new deal, and that he's potentially going to be available at the end of this season.
Yeah.
I mean, Man United needs to look for an elite manager, not a B League manager, not an up-and-coming manager. You need an elite manager. You've got certain players and certain profiles in your squad who are top tier. I mean, Sesko is going to be top tier. I mean, I said this when he was at RB Leipzig. He is going to be top tier. You've got the likes of Bruno, who again, even though he's getting on a bit now, he's still top tier. He's
Yeah.
still one of the best attacking midfielders in the Premier League. You've got a really good young centre back partnership brewing in the back. You've got the likes of Luke Shaw still at your squad. Your goalkeeper that you've got in, he looks really good. You just need that elite manager who can, you know, help develop a lot of these younger players and also bring in big name profiles as well who can elevate that team to the next level. And I felt like someone like Luis Enrique, with what he's done at PSG, he would probably be one of the best people for it. I mean, you look at what he's done with all the youngsters at PSG, and also the established players at PSG. He's elevated Hakimi. He's brought in Desiree Doué. He's brought in all these prolific players, and I feel like he can probably do a similar job at Manchester United, and he's also won the Champions League. And I
Again,
think you need that.
because he won it with Barcelona, I'm pretty sure, didn't he?
Yeah.
But
But you need that. You need that sort of elite tier manager. So I feel like an interim manager like Ollie, who's done it before, who's done it as an interim before, who's created a form of stability, and he can get a tune out of a Man United side. Maybe not this Man United side. We'll wait and see what happens with that. But he can get a tune out of a Manchester United side, and the fans don't hate him. Like he's loved by the fans still. I just don't think he's that elite manager that you need. But until the end of the season, that's fine. He'll probably get you top four, or at least challenging for top four. Which, especially if you can get Champions League spaces, getting someone like Luis Enrique will then put you in a position where you can spend big in the summer and prepare for a big charge next season.
So the way that United fans have said, or from what I've listened to on other podcasts or seen on socials, is the club has tried big managers, i.e., like getting Van Halen and getting Jose Mourinho and stuff, but it was with a different ownership. It was full Glazers and then some bankers who owned it. I'm not saying Ineos are perfect, but like you've got the sporting minds now, like director of football Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, and stuff like that. Maybe potentially having an elite manager could benefit them, but as they've said under Ruben, they don't want a manager; they just want head coach. They will deal with the managerial sides, like style of play, signings, all the backside stuff, and he just coaches that to the players. I don't know. I don't really know Luis Enrique too much, but do you feel like he would accept that? Do you think he'd be like, take a step back, you just coach players? What do you think he would thrive under it?
I mean, it is a lot less pressure, a lot less weight on a manager's shoulder
Mm,
when you think about it. If you are just coming in as a head coach, just coaching, not having to deal with, obviously you'd have an input. You would have, even you might not have the final say on anything, but you still have an input on transfers and etc. It's like you look at Arsenal, right? I mean, Arteta, yes, he is the manager as opposed to head coach, but especially when he started out, he wasn't the manager; he was just a head coach,
yeah.
and he saw quite a bit of success through that. And then obviously he did work quite closely with Edu. So I mean, if Luis Enrique came in on that kind of role, he would still have input on, not full direction from the board, but it would be okay, right? I like this style of play, but I think we should potentially go for this man, like this player or this etc. And they'll still have an input, and he'll still have his professional input. I don't know. I don't know Luis Enrique personally. I don't know what his mentality is like. All I know is what he's won,
Yeah.
and how he is an elite manager. He's not the most elite manager out there, but he's probably the most elite that United could probably get in the summer. That's going to be available.
Who would you say is the most elite in the world? If he's not, then who is?
I mean, Pep Guardiola at the moment.
Your Luis Enriquez defending a UCL.
Still Pep Guardiola.
Yeah. I remember I heard like Mark Schwarzer talk about his time at Leicester and that Claudio Ranieri um pretty much didn't handle any of the coaching side. It was all like Craig Shakespeare, etc. And he said that literally worked so well as like a well-run machine. Like Claudio Ranieri did the Matchday stuff, media side of things, but Craig Shakespeare and Co did everything else technically, and that just worked well for them to win the league. So I don't know if I should go down a route like that or if that's too outdated, but it's hard to say. Um, there's there's going to be names for the United job. Southgate's been linked because people are rumoring they want a yes man, and he will be a yes man. Tommy Tuchel's going to be linked as well because he's got great experience, and depending on how England do in the World Cup, if he wins the World Cup, then he'll be like, right, he can go back into club. Yeah, like you say, there's not too much out there really to like
Mm.
put a name on it, but Xavi, Zidane, and then maybe Luis Enrique in the summer if he does leave PSG. I don't know. It's a hard market currently.
Yeah, and this is a problem with sacking any kind of manager. It's like, yeah, fair enough, they might not be getting a tune out of their team, but unless you've got a clear plan as to who you want to replace them,
Mm,
I don't think clubs should be sacking their managers. I mean, you see clubs like Chelsea who have, they had a clear plan of who they wanted to bring in. Fair enough that, fans might not agree with what they've decided, but at least they had a plan. Whereas Man United, they've sacked Ruben, and it's who's going to be taking charge? Is it going to be Ollie? Is it going to be someone else? Is it, you know what I mean? And it's still not like confirmed. Whereas with Chelsea job, we knew within what 2 days who was going to be taking over,
yeah,
and it was basically set in stone. Um, and yeah, I think especially for a big club, you kind of need to have that backup plan there ready to go, um, so that you can, if you do need to sack your manager for whatever reason, whether they disagree or whatever, you can just straight away get your target, get your man, job's done, move
yeah.
on.
With
Even if you keep Ruben in for another 2 weeks and then decide to go for your man, at least then you're not under pressure. At least then there's it's gonna it's gonna be cheaper for you as well, because you're not gonna have to pay a ridiculous amounts to get a manager out of a job from another club, because they're going to look at it and go, okay, well, Man United aren't really looking for a manager, etc. Whereas now everyone knows you're looking for a manager. Everyone knows that that's what you need. So they're going to overcharge you for it if if you do decide that you want to go to another club and buy a manager from them.
Yeah,
Or
that also comes with United tax anyway. If they know the club is interested, then they just add a premium on top. But but going
it's
back
like
to
any English club, to be fair. But yeah,
mainly the big ones anyway. But I don't know how Chelsea get away with it.
oh, they've got dodgy dealings, haven't they?
Yeah, but going back to like the interim session situation. Obviously, like Ole is the number one linked because he done it before and he performed quite well. So there's like obvious to come in. Like he's happy to do it. Allegedly, Fabrizio reported it. But I was saying to my friend Ryan, like, because I had a change of mind. I thought get rid of Ruben, just get Ollie until the end of the season, steady the ship. But the only thought I had on this, and we spoke about this, was what if he can't replicate it again? And I don't know if he can because the Premier League was a different time when he was there during the COVID era and a little bit after. But he's got better players. He didn't have a great spell with Besiktas. Either that's the presidency not liking them losing to Fenerbahce, etc. But I don't know if his chapter's closed and we just leave it alone. which is probably why they haven't rushed to replace Darren Fletcher yet. But it's just a point that I wanted to know. It's like, do you rush to get Ollie in? Doesn't replace it, and then you end up sacking him in March.
I mean, yeah, there's always that risk of, there's a reason you moved him on before.
Mm.
And there's a reason that, he's no longer the Manchester United manager. But I don't know. It is a tough one, but that's why professionals are in place to run the club,
Yeah,
or at least should be running the club. And I still stand by it. You need a plan. If you're going to sack your manager, you need a plan. You need
definitely.
something. You can't just sack them and be like, okay, what do we do next? We haven't got a manager. Oh, well, they've got to have something in mind of what they want to do.
There's definitely got to be a lot more down to this Ruben sacking. Because, I mean, if it was performance-based, they probably would have let him go a while ago. But the fact he only acted once about the board, and they said, no, that's enough. It's just a little bit fishy, isn't it?
It makes me laugh because Ralph Rangnick, and this is a little bit of a throwback, but he said a similar thing, like almost identical thing to what Rubens was saying.
He was way more honest. Like, he literally said,
was. But the thing is, like, it was almost word for word identical. At least the points that they were getting across was identical, and literally, it's literally like history repeating itself.
I don't think Ruben's points were as bad as Ranick's. I think Ranick's was probably more brutal, saying like the club needs open heart surgery from top to bottom.
Yeah. I mean, like Ralph Rangnick had multiple interviews where he said about the club, but there was again, I remember watching a clip and it was literally like word for word identical what they were saying, and the points that Ruben had about the club were basically the same thoughts that Ralph Rangnick had about the club. Maybe fair enough. Ruben didn't say it's run down into the ground. The club's in disarray, etc. And as you said, needs open heart surgery. But it's at least with the style of play and getting a tune out of the club itself, it's identical for what they've said.
Yeah, I also had this conversation with a friend as well about the appointment of Ruben. Would it have been different if we didn't rush to sign him? Or if United didn't rush to sign him? Because they sacked Ten Hag early into the season as well, after like 10 games or so. And they rushed Ruben in, knowing damn well he has a system that he needs to implement. Like, you've got your team for Ten Hag, you play 10 games, not good enough, sack Ten Hag, and you're like, oh, let's get this guy in who has a complete different philosophy, complete different system, and will the players adapt very quickly? No. Given the end of the season, things might change, have a summer and stuff, but that whole like 6-7 months could have just stayed with Ten Hag and be like, right, like we're not keeping you to the end of the season. I'll backtrack, and then get Ruben in the summer.
Well, I mean, it just seems like the history of Manchester United since Fergie left. I mean, you brought in David Moyes, completely different system to what Fergie had. You then brought in Van Gaal, completely different system. Then brought in Jose Mourinho, who was renowned for his defensive work. Again, completely different system. Then brought in Ole, again, kind of made do with what he had. Didn't really have too much of a system, but made it work. Ralph Rangnick came in, was supposed to become, to be fair, that whole appointment was very strange. But again, completely different system. Then went with Erik Ten Hag, who had his own style of playing, very different system. And then, Ruben Amorim, again, another manager who has a very different system, to the previous man who was in, and you end up just buying players for the sake of buying players, and you're constantly in this point where you're in a rebuild over and over and over again, um, as opposed to sort of sticking with it and building on that and finding actually sitting down, thinking and going, okay, right, if we appoint this manager, what exactly are they going to need? And, hopefully, I mean, because it's kind of boring me at this point with Manchester United. They are really boring. Like with constantly chopping and changing your management. I mean, what is it now? Like eighth manager since Fergie's retired.
Yeah, so but yeah, Ranić's appointment was actually to be a caretaker when Ole left, but he was going to be director of football or sporting director, but he just filled in for the managerial part, and then he was going to
Mm.
go upstairs when Ten Hag was going to come through, but that never materialized because I don't know if him. It was probably the same thing. Like Ten Hag wanted to be in control, to be the manager, and he didn't really want Rangnick to call the shots. So it's just ego thing on most like coaches. But I feel like the best point of view that United could have done, and they probably do regret this, is letting go of Ten Hag when he won the. I was going to say World Cup, when he won the FA Cup, because there was talks of that happening, and then they let him start the season. So maybe they could have done that, and then get Ruben in or some other guy. But yeah, I don't know. The cycle continues, never ending.
Yeah, and it's getting boring. It's the same story every time. It
Yeah.
really is. It's you'll bring someone in, or you'll have an interim. The interim will then leave after 6 months or so. A new manager will be appointed late. It won't be done on the start of the summer window. It will be late. It will probably be like end of June, maybe, or end of July. You'll come into August and you'll be like, right, we've got 1 month, and well, we've got a couple of weeks until the season starts and 1 month left of the window. The manager will come in on like the 5th of August or something. The Premier League will start a week later. The manager then has to rush to get into it. You'll lose the first game, or you might just draw the first game. People will think, oh, he's the best manager since sliced bread. And then all of a sudden, you'll just start completely dropping points. And then you'll finally rush to then sign random players, completely overspend for players. And then you'll look back on it and, all the Man United fans will be getting so excited about these players that have come in. And it will get to September and you'll be like, why the hell have we bought these players? They're terrible. They can't fit. The system's not working. And then it'll carry on for a little longer, and then midway through the season, it'll be, oh, we've got to give him a full summer, we've got to give him a full window, and then you finally give him a full window. Partway through the season afterwards, he'll come out and say, this club is terribly run. He'll get sacked, and then you'll be in the same situation again.
Yep.
That is Manchester United. How to run Manchester United 101.
Oh,
That is straight up how it is.
you forgot one point. Managers get a massive payout of like £10 million, and then they just live lavishly. Probably the easiest and hardest job in the world, don't you think? Because you're
it's hard for a period, but my God, you get so much money out of it.
that's the only benefit. How is there a downside? You may ruin your career, but you've just got 15 million quid to live off.
You may ruin your mental health for about a year and a half, but
here's 15 million quid. You just go to Bahamas for a month. You'll be right again. But yeah, who should we do prediction? Next United manager.
Yeah, I mean, I've already got mine, Luis Enrique. Well, let's say I think Ollie's probably going to come in, but Luis Enrique.
I probably think it'll be Thomas Tuchel.
Ooh.
After the World Cup.
They
will they will leave Darren Fletcher in charge till the end of the season, wait for the World Cup, and then pester Thomas Tuchel.
But then it would be exactly what I just said. He won't come in until sort of early August, maybe a bit later.
Yeah, but I don't think much. I think the club will do all the other business first. Like Jason Wilcox would be like, "Bro, you're playing a back four. I don't care," and then build his team, and then Tuchel will just do the tactics. side of things, coach it. But yeah,
You're too much faith in your club.
or not enough.
Too much faith in your board
Yeah, I guess so.
to do the right thing. But they won't. They won't do the right thing because they don't know how to run a football club.
That is another point as well. I think when Ineos were in charge of Nice, I think they went through like 7 managers in the last 3 years or something crazy like that. So maybe it's just Sir Jim. Do you know what? Do you know what I saw on socials? It was when Ronaldo retires. This is Cristiano CR7. He wants to buy United.
They would sell it.
Saudi backing.
He won't buy it. He won't be able to. Like, do you really think the Glazers are actually going to give up Manchester United ever? No.
Hopefully, when they
They'll
die.
die. They'll die before that. Yeah, they'll die before they give it up.
But Ronaldo was Saudi backing. It's got to happen, right?
Yeah, but he ain't got a clue how to run a football club.
But he doesn't need to. He just needs to flush money into it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
It'll be interesting to see. They'll get a lot of sponsorships because a lot of people will be like, "Well, it's Ronaldo, isn't it?"
Can you
A
just
lot of like
imagine
brands and stuff.
CR7 as the club sponsor?
It'll be like Ipswich Town and Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, but because Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada are like ex-City, like Maresca kind of seems like the obvious fit. Do you think? Like City boys, they work together.
It's a potential. I don't know what happens with Maresca at this point. I really don't. I just don't know where he goes, what he does.
Strasbourg. Well, like I said, I think was the last pod. He waits out Pep.
Yeah,
I think it's probably the most obvious point to go for, unless. Do you? Yeah, I was thinking about this today as well at work. Do you think if City ask, oh, say Arsenal don't win the league this season, and Pep steps down after winning it, and if City come to Arteta and say, "We want you to be the manager or the head coach of Manchester City," do you think he says yes, even after bottling the league 3 times in a row?
Yeah, 4. But no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. The thing is, it goes back to an interview of Pep Guardiola when Arteta first took over at Arsenal, and he turned around and he said, "Look," he said, "he would always be my right hand man. He would always be like the first to celebrate. He's so passionate about the football we play. But there was one club he never celebrated against, and that was Arsenal. He has so much love and admiration for Arsenal that I don't think he would leave it without actually winning anything."
An FA Cup, all right, he can leave.
He's already won an FA Cup.
Exactly, so he can leave to go to City.
Like he wants to win Arsenal proper titles. He wants to win Premier League, Champions League. He wants to actually win something with us because we haven't won a Champions League. We haven't really, at least in the last 22 years, haven't won a Premier League. He wants to bring that back to the Emirates because honestly, before he came in, it was such a sorry sight. It really was.
Wait, let me stop you there. He wants to bring the Premier League back to the Emirates. It's never been there, mate.
I suppose, yeah, no, it hasn't been to the Emirates, no.
It's never been there.
Back to the Arsenal, back to North London.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Well, there's already been European trophies in North London, no? Just not Arsenal.
Shut up.
You may be top of the league, but you can still get bantered.
We don't talk about those bums.
Yeah.
Oh, at least our manager's not. At least our manager's not rocking around with a bloody Tottenham Cup.
Yeah, I was going to say the only cup that.
Although I will say though, surely that's subtle foreshadowing. Arsenal won a cup. Yeah. Oh,
I found it so weird.
I do have an Arsenal bottle.
Yeah, bottle it. The reason why Do you know why Frank had an Arsenal Cup?
Because
Yeah,
we
you were
played
the
Bournemouth
last
before.
away team in
Yeah,
the dressing room, and you left
yeah.
cups, and he said, "Yeah, let me use that." Is he all right?
I, he came out in a conference and said in a press conference after it and said, I didn't know it was an Arsenal cup." He goes, I was just handed the cup and I was drinking out of it, and it was like, what? How do you pick up a cup and not look at it and go?
Yeah, bonkers, absolute bonkers. Imagine
And
that made
he
news.
goes, yeah. And he was like, honestly, he goes, I would never intentionally pick up an Arsenal cup. Like that would just be completely disrespectful for the club. But the thing is, like, everyone's been saying um, that he's such an Arsenal fan, all this sort of stuff, because you know, Arsene Wenger. Well, he used to attend a lot of Arsenal games when Arsene Wenger was manager. There's loads of like photos of Thomas Frank at the Arsenal games under Wenger, especially towards the end. And then you've then also got him also watching a couple of Mikel Arteta games, and also having huge admiration for Mikel Arteta.
Was this when he was in
Like,
Denmark? Like, was it Bromby
mm,
manager?
I think so, yeah. But yeah, there's loads of clips of him turning around saying like, Arsenal are the best team in the country, all this sort of stuff. But you know, glazing Arsenal because we're performing really well. We play a very attractive form of football, and it's fine for managers to do that. But now that he's the Tottenham manager, everyone's like, he can't be doing that,
Yeah,
and it just looks bad on him, especially with this whole cup thing.
terrible, terrible news. Yeah, City certainly dropped. City dropping points again, giving Arsenal more of a lead. It's we're just gonna have to accept it, really. The
Well,
league,
not more of a lead, but one less game.
yeah, yeah.
That's the one thing we got out of this weekend. It was one less, well, this week, sorry, one less game to play for both clubs, and that benefits us because we keep the lead that we had going into the match week, and we also keep lose a game, which is brilliant because it's one less chance for City to close that gap.
Well, City have signed Antoine Semenyo. That was confirmed today. Given the number 42, bizarre Yaya Toure fan. Not even the same country.
Yeah, I mean, I made a TikTok on this the other day, and honestly, it's so late for them. Like they should have had it done first of January.
Yeah.
Like the talks were going on from mid December. Um, how can you have got it over the line? I mean, if City, and I said this, if City was serious about going for the title and challenging Arsenal, they would have got it done straight away. They wouldn't have even hesitated. I mean, there's also talks now that they're not even going to get Mark Gahey, and that Mark Gahey is actually going to stay at Palace, and Arsenal. The latest I saw from David Ornstein, obviously, that Arsenal are sort of sniffing around him, sort of trying to make pre-contract arrangements for the summer. Which again, is kind of, why haven't City or Liverpool signed this man yet?
Well, I think I saw City were linked, but I think Palace wanted 40, like now, but City want to wait till the end of the season type thing. Don't know. It's hard. If they need a centre back really because Gvardio and Ruben are out,
Yeah,
so they need now. They need someone now.
yeah,
So they may
they
struggle. And
do.
they've got tough runs, don't they? Because they got United.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you
if we,
play them?
I haven't actually seen their.
They've got
Sorry,
United,
just dropped my microphone.
um, United, Wolves, yeah, Spurs, and Liverpool. Their next Prem games. Um, United probably could beat them because somehow, for some reason, they tend to. Wolves
Well,
should really be a win.
the thing is, it's a derby game,
Yeah,
and whenever you have a derby, like a big rivalry derby, like a North London derby, Manchester derby, Merseyside derby, etc. Form goes out the window.
Tactics
It
go out
really
the
does.
window as
Like,
well.
yeah. And like big games, always form goes out the window, tactics go out the window. It's just a case. It's more who can rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But yeah, no, City do have quite a tough run. You know, maybe not until February, but come February, they've got their bogey team, Tottenham.
I was just
They've
going to say
got
that, yeah.
Liverpool. Yeah, they've got Tottenham away. They've got Liverpool away, and then they've got Newcastle at home.
That's the FA Cup. That's not Premier League.
No, that is Premier League, 21st of February.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the 4th Feb.
Yeah, no. Plus, they've also got Carabao Cup games in between.
Yeah.
Which,
okay.
again, Arsenal also do. But also, aren't they... What position are they in the Champions League?
In the Champions League,
Oh, they're fourth.
they
They're
are
fourth.
fourth. Yeah. So it should be right. They shouldn't really
Yeah.
need to... Actually, they...
I mean, they are only... Yeah, a couple
A
of points
point.
from dropping down from the top 8, which...
It's 1 point.
Yeah.
Liverpool 9th, 12 points.
Whereas we're sort of scot-free with it. We can, in our next couple of games, we can just throw youth teams out and still be fine and still qualify.
Yeah, but Declan Rice is
'Cause we're that
90 minutes.
But we're that far ahead that we have the ability to. Whereas they're going to have to go full strength against Bodo Glimt and potentially Galatasaray as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
exciting times coming in. I reckon next episode we react to our Premier League predictions.
About time. We need to get on that.
Yeah, I think it's time.
I have not looked back on them since we made them. So
no. All I remember was your Bournemouth prediction. That's about it.
Which, I mean, I'm not being funny. Bournemouth 15th.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Not. It wasn't.
We won't go into it. We'll do it. It
wasn't that far off. Yeah.
We'll do it on the episode. We're in this one
here.
Yeah, we're in this one here. If you are watching on YouTube, can we get this video to 10 likes and I will expose Kieran's DMs that he sends to Arsenal players. Good luck, Martin. Good luck, Gabby. All those ones, you know what I'm talking about. But if you did like this content, please can you like, comment and share. Make sure you follow us on all platforms. X and TikTok are the main ones we post almost daily, I would say so. But Spotify, Apple Podcasts, 5 stars only, 5-star rating. Comment down below what more news we should focus on. And for now, we are out, man. What do I say? Arsenal stink.
No, but take care.
Pressure in. Ciao.